To make a bracelet, you're going to need pieces of wire, some beads, a tool that has a rounded nose to it, a wire cutter, and a tool that's flat. So the first thing you do is you take your flat tool, pinch the wire in the middle, and fold it over so it looks like a 7. The next thing you're going to do is go on top of the 7 with your rounded nose plier, go up and around, take it off of the top barrel and move it to the bottom barrel, and continue moving that piece of wire around until it looks like the number 7 again. I always say it looks like a little man dabbing. Next thing you're going to do is take one of your tools, probably the flat one, hang on to the little circle or head of the guy. You're going to take his arm, hold it by the hand, and you're going to wrap around the body 3 times, and the coils, if you can see, should be nice and close and tight together. The excess wire should be cut off. Okay, this is called a fish hook. Now what you're going to do is string on a bead, and you're going to go through that same process over and over again until you have a bracelet made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flat pliers, bend over the wire to make a 7. If I show you at this angle, it's a 7. Come on top with my rounded nose pliers, come on top of the 7, go up and around, go from the top barrel to the bottom barrel, and continue wrapping this around until it looks like a little man dabbing. Now I'm going to hang on to that piece with one of my pliers, and with the other one I'm going to take it by the arm and I'm going to wrap around several times until I get to the bottom. When I'm close to the bead, then I can cut the excess off. I'm going to set that aside. Now for my next bead. Take a piece of wire. You start out the same. Pinch it in the middle. Make a 7. Take your rounded nose pliers, come up on the top, and go up and around. Go from the top barrel to the bottom barrel and continue wrapping that around a little bit until it looks like a man dabbing. Hang on to the head, take him by the arm, wrap his hand and his arm around the body 2 to 3 times, and then cut off the excess. Okay, so that's your fish hook. Now I'm going to put a bead on. Again, pinch right next to the bead with my flat tool. Make what looks kind of like a 7. Take your rounded nose pliers, come on top of the 7. You're going to go up and around, go from the top barrel to the bottom barrel, and continue wrapping. Now I'm going to stop because I need to connect this bead to my first bead. So this is the point in which you connect them. Once I get them hooked together, I can continue by holding on to the little man's head here, the little circle. Take him by the hand, wrap this wire around several times until it gets tight next to the bead, and the extra wire you can cut off. I'm going to continue doing this until I have many lengths here to create a bracelet. At the end, you're going to be making a closure. To make the closure, you're going to take a piece of wire, start it out the same, pinch it in the middle, fold it over so it looks like a 7, take the rounded nose pliers, come on top of the 7, push it up and around, go from the top barrel to the bottom barrel, and continue wrapping that around. At this point now, I'm going to take and attach it to my bracelet. Now I would take this, hold the little circle, take the arm, wrap it around several times. So I've created a fish hook. I'm going to cut the excess off. Now I'm going to pretend that there's a bead on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my flat nose pliers right next to the coil. I'm going to push this over so I make a 7. Take the rounded nose pliers, come on top of the 7, push it up and around. It should kind of look like a question mark when I'm done. I'm going to cut off the excess. That is your closure, however it's super sharp at the end, so take the end and just wrap it up on top of itself. Flatten it out a little bit, and that becomes the piece that will go through the very first circle.